that's why I'm just leaving it open to you guys picking which problems you do. You have 6 problems total. Okay, 3 from the first set, 3 from the second set. We're covering 2 lessons today. They're very closely related to each other, and we're in the accelerated class. We should be totally fine. We actually, because of people in and out of class and different things, went a bit slower at the beginning of this chapter than we meant to, so we got to make up a little bit of time. All right, let's make sure we all get this written down, so then I can switch things around. Make sure that everyone has both handouts from the back, a half sheet and a whole sheet. Half sheet and a whole sheet. Actually, not really a half sheet, it's a partial sheet because the cut wasn't quite perfect. Monica, what's up? Stealing stuff from my class. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, are we ready? Brains turned on, engaged, activated. Boost thrusters on. All right, I need your attention. I need your attention. I have a very difficult task. All right, I need your help. Which is greater? Is what we're discussing today. Which is greater? Which is bigger? Which is more? Which is greater? 58 or 62?
62.
Are we sure?
No.
Oh, they're positive. You should be fairly confident that 62 is greater, right? All because someone of authority asks you, are you sure? That should not make you unsure. That is just a verification. So 62, right? We know 62 is bigger. What if I then tell you or ask you which is greater? This compared to that. Why does it break that right there? All right, that belongs to the plus. That versus which one's greater? Come on. You were quick last time. Move here. Oh, you're taking too long, man. Come on. So I'm being a jerk about the whole do it fast thing. Is this as easy as 58 versus 62?
No.
Not quite, but we can get it to a point where it works out pretty much as easy. So we're going to remember, we'll come back to this. We're going to remember what we did yesterday with our multiple representations, right? So 7x minus 3, I could either represent that just exactly how it is, or I could bring in some extra ties. I can bring in 0 pairs, and I can bring in positive and negatives that counteract. I can bring things, one that adds, one that subtracts. So I can re-represent that in different ways. So we're not going to do 46. We're going to keep blowing on past that. Look at your half sheet. I believe this one's on the half sheet, right? No, 49 is on the half sheet. Sorry. So if you want to make this, you could, but I don't think we need to. And it also tells us what it is. If we compare left expression mat to right expression mat, remember empties are negatives, filled-ins are positives, but this is the opposite of positive 2. So we have negative 3 versus negative 2. Remember that closer or like further up the number line is greater. So even though they're both negative, like a lot of people will try to tell me negative 3 is bigger than negative 2. That is not true. Further up the number line is greater. What's up?
Well, another way to remember it, like which is bigger, is to remember which one is closest to 0.
Yes, but if they're positive, that doesn't work. If they're both negative, yes, that does work. So, check out this set of maths. So take a moment. What could we do to deal with these? I'll actually pull it up in a different way. What could we do to compare and make these maths easier to look at? Who can help me? that a hand or no?
No, it's not.
Mia?
It was, but couldn't you flip the ones on the bottom square and you flip them so they're on the top?
I could.
Then they'd all be.
I don't even have to do that. I can. I agree. Annie, what's your thought?
Could you make pairs of 0?
I can. Yep, totally. May, do you have anything else? So we could move tiles and flip them as I come across the middle line. We can make 0 pairs. We could do one and then the other. So if I try to make 0 pairs here, okay, these opposites on the same side of the mat, opposites on the same side of the mat. So now I know those are zeros. This side I could say is x minus 3, right? Because those are going to subtract away. It's the opposite. If I make zeros here, I make zeros here. Now, question. Are these the same number?
No.
Ian, why'd you raise your hand?
Because if they're the same color but on the opposite sides, they're fine because one of them is going to get switched.
Ah, so if I bring this up, it will get switched, but I don't even have to do that. I could just say these are 0, right? Because one is what it is. One is the opposite of what it is. They're 0. This becomes x plus 1 because it would be x minus, or the opposite of the negative. Now, can we see which one's bigger? Alex?
The right one, because you're adding instead of subtracting.
Doesn't matter what x is. Here I add to it. Here I take away from it. Doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. This one's going to be bigger because they both involve x. Does this make sense?
Yes.
3 cents to pay. So we're gonna go fast today, right? So we're gonna skip on past that. Let's look at, you guys on your half sheet have 49.
Yeah.
Look at 49.
Probably.
Try this with your team. Discuss what you can do, and then figure out which one is bigger. I think this is 49. I can't quite tell. So actually, you guys have this. You're looking at that. You're on A. So you want to do A and B with your groups. Well, there's no S, but yeah. I'm sorry.
A positive and 2 negatives.
I'll work on the page with you guys so mine looks like yours. Oh, I have paper stand out. Thank you for that reminder. Because your paper is the last one that I read. Oh yeah, they're yours. Yep. Yes. If they are opposites. So if one is what it is and the other is the opposite, but they are the same tile, then they are opposites, right? Because they're on opposite sides of the mat. I meant to cross that out too, like scribble that out, but this is your master. If you haven't done B yet, you can do B. Anyone want to come up and do A? I did both girls on the last time. I feel like I have to do a ball. I can't just pick like girl. Like that's not. It's not. It's a little off. It's don't apologize to me. It's the smart board's problem.
Oh, wait, did you get
Mm-hmm. By the way, as of this morning, we had 7 people in this class not mastered, and there was only 14 in Math 7 not mastered. That isn't right. Like we shouldn't have 7 people in Accelerated 7 still not mastered. So let's bust a move. Not half the class, but a third of the class. About a third of you guys are not yet mastered for math. Bust a move. Let's get it done. Wait, these are equal?
Yeah.
They didn't look equal to start.
But they are.
How? Annie?
Because there's pairs of 0. In AA, there's just more pairs of 0 than in AB. If that makes any sense.
Why do they look different to start but actually end up the same? Like what can we say mathematically, Piper?
I don't know if this is right, but you can have as many 0 pairs as you want added on to something that has the value and it change. So you could have like 18 0 pairs in one and only 3 0 pairs in the other, but if the leftover values are still the same.
I used a somewhat dangerous word yesterday. Starts with an I.
Infinite.
Internet, no.
That's a pretty dangerous word.
This is infinite.
That's
There
what
are
I said infinite. You thought I said internet.
There are infinitely many ways to represent an expression, right? We can infinitely modify it with 0 pairs and different things like that. Anyone want to come up and do B? Zoom, girls. Zoom. What? There we go. Can't see that well. You can use multiple colors too. Except don't use green. The green pen thing is the pen sensor is broken. Yeah, it can't tell whether you're using the pen or not. This is just so you guys can have it in front of you and not right now.
Looks like you're sitting.
So then what is the left side and what is the right side? How is it plus? I thought those empties were negatives. Oh, it's the opposite of negatives. Be careful, because they look like negatives, but they're the opposite of what they look like. So which one's bigger? The right side's bigger, right? Because the left side adds 1, the right side adds 3. Any questions with these? We're good? Yeah? You're good? Yeah. So, -7 plus 1, -6, right? -7 plus 3, -4. Still, it's higher up. So I love the question. Yeah. What do you mean how we do it? So these are a positive 1 and a negative 1. Every time you have a positive 1 and a negative 1, it's like I take a strawberry and I give it back. Like, right? So nothing happens. The change compensates each other and counteracts. So these are the same, like these are 0 because they're on the same side and they're opposite values. This square and this square cancel out because they are the same number. They're both 1, but this is the opposite of 1, the opposite of the tile value. So this is a positive 1, this is a negative 1. These cancel, make 0. Opposite on the same side makes 0. Opposite on the same side makes 0. These are the only things we have left. Okay, we're gonna keep playing with this. Hopefully it'll make more sense. And that's pretty much 215. Right. So just a reminder, commuter to property, commute means to what? Move. When we are adding or multiplying, we can move things and it does not affect things. All right, doing more of this. So now we do not have this on your papers. So it might be convenient if you guys just look up here and work from it and discuss with your team. I want you on your paper. So here's what I want you to notate. So write 56 and then give yourself space for A, B, C, and D. And E. And F.
And G.
No, just F. Hey, are you doing what I asked? It's not nap time. I wish. Trust me, I feel the same. I would love to just take a nap. But I have a job that I'm supposed to do.
And we have a job to do what you're supposed to do.
Yes. He has a tummy ache. Like a bad one. Mr. Cabilo has some gastro issues. And every now and then things flare up. Try to be very healthy as a kid so you have a healthier body as your adult. Yes. And I just remember there are apparently chocolate-covered strawberries in that fridge over there for me. So on your paper, we couldn't move things around, right? Fortunately, up here, we can. So if I wanted to move things, and this might help Naya or the other people in the class who are struggling that just won't speak up, if I move these up to here, I can say, all right, these are opposite each other. If I move these down here because they have no matches up here, they're just kind of doing their thing. And then what should I, like, how else would you move this? How would you, if you were, like, guiding me to do this, Ian?
Wait, like making it easier?
Yeah, to
Okay,
view it
then I would
easier.
move the red on the bottom up, and then it would be blue.
Well, I can actually just put it there, right? Because since we're cutting the line, we know one is what it is, and this is the opposite of what it is. That's another 0. And if I bring this across, which I hate that this doesn't do it for me, this will flip. I have to tap it. But so if I have it over here and it's blue, and I move it up here, it becomes red. What is this expression's real value? -3. And I can see that if I move that or if I don't. If I just see that's the opposite of what it is. So over here, what do I pair up? Annie? Nothing, because if I put these here, they're just, well, -1 and the opposite of one. They're the same. Just actually bring it over, bring it over, bring it over. And we have -6, which is bigger. So please write that out. The -3 is greater than -6. With your teams, I'll come here in a second, work through B through F. You got to agree. Okay? So you've got them in your book. I'll pull them up here slowly, but like I can't have all of them up here. So work B through F. So there's B. Yeah, this is why you have this. If it helps you to visualize and set them out, this is why you have this and you still have tiles at your desk. Yeah. You could. Yeah, if you want to. So that's another way that you could do that. If I pull that one back up. Hey, Naya's asking about another way to do this. Couldn't I just pair these down here, these up there? Yes, that's totally another option. I just wanted to show pairing across the middle. So that's why I did that. But yeah, that's just as easy of an option. But that was A still. So here's B. You gotta agree. I'm gonna give you 6 minutes. We'll give you a minute bonus, but B through F, that's a minute each, right? Minute bonus. That is non-proportional. And for those of you that were upset that I had a question about Mr. Estes, we can solve that at the end of class if you want. For the math 7 class. Mr. Estes, he did the job on math 7. Well, it's just a made-up problem.
So, -6 plus. Or -7.
I wonder if this is easier to work with. You guys might be able to see more. So this just doesn't show very many at the same time. I'll put the book up on the other screen, I guess. There, so there's a few more. Actually, let's swap this around. B is up on the TV now. Okay, B is up on the TV. 56B, although you can't quite see that it says 56 up here. Then C, D, E, and F can fit on this screen. This also can have a book, like it said for you to have out at the beginning of class.
B, -6.
You could use actual tiles. X squared is X times X. So imagine 5 times 5. So imagine 5 times 5. 25. Take away 5.
It doesn't matter what Jordan you put.
You don't get 5, right? You don't get X as what you If you did X squared divide by X, then you'll get X.
No.
I'm toying with an idea. Just maybe we'll discuss this at the end of class. Toying with the idea of when we come back in January, instead of 4 groups, do pairs, and then have like, okay, pairs pair up if we need a 4 group sort of stuff. Then we just have pairs of desks kind of pointing differently than some people totally facing away and being awkward. I don't hear any opposition, so well, we might discuss that later. So put that in the back of your brain as, can you think of any like reasons that would be a bad thing, even if you support it? Can't, like, are there any times you're like, well, having 4 people to discuss with is better than if you just have 1 per, like, I don't know. But we'll discuss that. On team tests are kind of, I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't think team tests are as beneficial as. Yeah, because pairs could pair. If we wanted to like team tests. I have an answer, hopefully. What? Yes, that did not pan out. People did not see that. I didn't put that in math because a lot of people would be here for discovery. So, Mr. Smith and I are talking about what's the best way to do that. And we think we're going to start to do daily checks of like, I just show it. Just like walking around at some point during class. So for Math 7, he can help with that. But in here, I would just have to do it for you guys. So keep working on this. And in here, I kind of work on the honor system. If you guys are doing homework, you like, come ask me if you need help. Works for most kids, not everybody. Hey, I need to take my pill.
You have a bunch of negatives.
A pill, my heart pill.
So, the black and the white cancel each other out. So then there's one negative left.
I take Winston.
And then, if they're the same, it cancels each other out.
You got 1 minute. Shaded in as positive.
No, yeah, you're correct. Okay.
Negative 1 plus negative.
How I roll.
He's a liar again.
Any volunteers come up and show us B? And your hand shot up real fast. We'll get through some people.
Ian.
Hey, let's watch Annie and give her some respect. If you're still working, that's fine, but do so quietly. Otherwise, let's watch and make sure she does all right. By the way, if you come up to solve by poking the tile, is how you get it to flip. So if you drag it across, then you gotta poke it. I wish it like did something cool when you made a zero pair.
Like these two were the same color.
Yeah,
And
like
they
they like
merged
turn
together and
a
it's happy.
neutral. Yeah.
They turned like
The
red
turn
or
right.
something.
Yeah, blue, purple,
No, they
red,
turned
blue.
Yeah.
So she got x minus 6. Is that what we got for the left side?
Yeah.
Now she's making the zero pairs right side. And gets. So which one's greater? Draw that in. Boom. Do they agree or disagree?
I agree.
Perfect. Alright, boy for C. Boy want to do C. E, are you interested in doing C?
Oh, I'll do it. No, we're not finished.
Moving to your come on up, dude. If you're still working, keep working. Try to get this done before we do it for you. So let's not draw. Can you just show it visually? And then write the, like, can you show all zero pairs, all things that can match up, then the simplified. So can you drag things and like group them, like just put them together? So put the pen down for a minute. You erase that. We're gonna move things first. And visually, we're gonna work on some geometry to visually represent things in an easier manner. Okay, yeah, there's zero, there's zero.
Yeah, but they flip and go up, so it's right? Wait, why is it purple?
Yeah, move them, like, let's, if we're gonna do that, let's move it over here and then show it. But there's another way that you could cancel out this -1 that might be easy.
Or you just do -1.
Couldn't this -1 cancel out with a 1 on its side? Couldn't we just do that? And these cancel? They're opposite values.
But this one's on the negative side. So
They're both on the negative side.
yeah.
So this is actually +1 and this is actually -1 once we evaluate it. Then if I want to drag this up, then it's going to flip if I drag it over. But you're in charge here. See, so now it doesn't make 0. They can still stay together, but they make -2. So it was a +1 down here. Right? When we bring it up, it becomes negative. It doesn't make 0, but these make -2 together.
So we have that part. Now we can cancel these. I don't know what to say. Cancel out. And then it's y. I'm bad at writing with this.
Do we agree?
No.
Well, Rachel's shaking her head. Rachel, give him some advice.
You never move the y over to the other side and made it negative.
Or if he leaves it where it is, what side is it on?
Negative.
It's on the opposite side, right? So it's the opposite of y. It's -y -2. Are we good now?
You good, bro?
Sweet. So let's try the right one.
So now I can do this.
Yeah, tap it again. It just accidentally thought you tapped. Make sure you use your finger pad, not your fingernail. That's why it's getting goofed up, because your nail keeps tapping it. It just flips. So every time it like catches your nail, it's just goofing up. So hey, use your finger like this. Use your finger like this, not poking, laying flat. You gotta like grab and drag. So he made all the 0 pairs he could, drug a 1 across the line, so we get negative y minus 3. Now wait, which is bigger than, which is greater? We have negative y minus 2 and negative y minus 3.
Negative 1 minus 2.
What do we think?
I think the left side.
No, I did it wrong, or he did it right. Probably
What?
That doesn't
So
look
we
that-
reset, what is this? This is C or D?
And C.
We reset C. Let's look at what Bubendir did. He paired, brought across, that's negative 2, brings across these pair, and if we bring across, negative y minus 2. Okay, so that's how he gets that.
Okay, yeah, I'm wrong.
Over here, pair, bring across, negative y minus 3. Now let's play this out. What if y was 5? Okay, the opposite of 5, negative 5, minus 2, negative 7. Opposite of 5, negative 5, minus 3,
Negative 8.
negative 8.
Yeah, I won.
But wait, which is bigger, negative 7 or negative 8? Negative 7. This pointed the wrong way. Because, hold up. So give me your attention for a second. Negative y. Go ahead and grab a seat. Negative y is shared. It's in both of these. We have negative y here, and we have negative y here. These will be the same. The opposite of y and the opposite of y will be the same as each other. So ask yourself, which number will end up bigger if I take 2 away from this and take 3 away from that? This will go down more. Does that make sense? This takes away an extra 1. That only takes away 2. This takes away an extra 1. That only takes away 2. Cool? I have some faces that make me concerned.
Wait, can you reset it? What
That's
is
a
it?
3. Reset it again.
Yeah, this is the C.
So, if
I just gotta
we don't flip anything, okay, I'm not gonna
No,
flip.
I understand that side. I just
Okay.
gotta look at this in my head, okay?
In your head, what?
Okay. Nah,
Opposite
I'm
of
good.
2, negative 1, negative 1.
I wasn't seeing it correctly.
Yeah, I didn't flip anything. Okay, D. Finally, is there a girl? Since we just had Buvendir up here. Did you already come up and do one?
Ian, you
Oh,
raised
anyone
your
can do one?
hand.
Did you say you don't know?
It's on the blue maybe
The blue's positive right now.
Okay.
You can just drag and flip and do stuff, so you don't need the pen if you don't want. So, I think some people haven't been watching. So set that down for a second so I wasn't do stuff. If I want to drag this, I just grab it with my finger and drag it. If I want to flip it, poke it. So, and if I want to show 0 pairs, just they link up. Now that's not a 0 pair, but these will link up and we can kind of visually see they're 0. I don't think we need to draw circles around stuff anymore. You can if you want, but move the tiles first. Move them to be close to each other. You can, and then tap it to flip it. If you move it across the line, it's got to flip. Perfect. Now, I totally agree with what you did, but why did you do that?
Because they're in the negatives and they are the opposite of
Yeah. Alana just did like my #1 rule. Make life easier. You can keep working. I'm just going to talk you up for a second. I struggle to visualize this tile as the opposite of what it looks like. That in my brain, it's hard for me. I would start the way Alana started and put everything in the positive side. Then I can just look at what everything is, not is it the opposite of what it is or anything like that. So was there an x and a negative x that canceled?
Yep.
See, yeah, that's why the pen makes it goofed up. So those were 2 different tiles.
Yeah, they go on top of each other.
Dude, and they make some weird They literally just go on top of each other. Like, I think the color that we're seeing is just like the color of both of them. Yeah. So like we could do that or something to see like, oh yeah, that's two different tiles. Be careful if you're working on the computer. This, in my brain, kind of confuses me. I'd want to see that, okay, we have two different tiles. So x squared plus 4. You good? Sweet. Right side? This is D. Again, I completely agree with Alana. Put everything on the positive side first.
It makes it a lot easier.
Sure.
What did you just do?
Magic. I don't quite know. Tap it. There you go. Grab it. Cool. So we know that canceled out. We can just remember that. So then we have the x squared is still there. Don't use the green pen slot. Yeah. Now, even without knowing what x squared is, but remember, if it's negative, a negative squared makes a positive. Which one's bigger? X squared plus 4, x squared plus 5. Alana, you want to draw your symbol up there for which one's bigger? Draw the gator eating the bigger one. Boom. We agree? Perfect. Is there a boy volunteer that wants to do E? Alex, you want to come on up? Seriously? What? What about 7 minutes? Yes, are you sad? I'm sad.
I'm very
How many more minutes do you have in math?
What's an expression
I
that's
would
both
keep you
sad
guys
and
real
happy at the same time? That's
Because
not
we could like run through an entire chapter or
because
something.
I'm happy.
So here's another crazy idea. Sorry, it's hopefully somebody's watching Alex to make sure he's doing stuff right.
I know.
Here's another crazy idea. Linworth does this. What if you had every class every other day? So you had half of your classes on Monday, but for twice as long. And then the other half of your classes on Tuesday, but for twice as long. Well, then you don't have it the next day. You get a day without that class, and you're like, man, I don't have to go to Mr. Cabillo's. Well, no, what was it during foundations? I don't have to go to that Dollards class. Somebody in our foundations called Mr. Cabillo's a Dollard.
Oh, that was Jesse
And then,
Liam.
That was a bad
our
decision.
group,
No.
Fred for Mr.
Are you good, Alex?
I don't understand.
So,
what that
do we agree with what Alex has? Negative x, negative 2y, negative 2?
Yes.
Pairs, non-pairs. I like it. Do we agree with the right side? Now this is even harder. Which one's bigger? I don't even, I wasn't even trying for that. Hold on, Annie. Give us just a second. Which one, so you can go ahead and write the inequality sign if you want. Which, oh, wait. Wait, again? Oh, so guys, realize I'm often being slightly theatrical, like part of it. So I'm being like, oh wait, what? Oh, that's fake. It's me being a teacher. All right, sweet, last one.
It seems like Mr. Wheeler just doesn't know what he's doing.
That was the feedback that was the best. Seems like my science teacher just doesn't know what he's doing sometimes.
This one is really confusing.
Yeah, you said that about teaching us after that.
Oh, can I get
I just want you guys to tell me what to do.
Tell
So,
them what to do.
tell me what to do. Shout stuff out.
Put everything on the top.
Okay, put everything on the top.
And then you say I'm Mr.
Flip.
Wheeler.
Flip.
I don't think he's Mr.
Flip.
He is Mr. Wheeler.
Flip.
Make
pairs.
pairs of
Wait,
zero.
you always
Pairs.
have to flip them.
Pairs. If they go across the middle, these don't pair those. Okay, so I now have
2x minus however many x.
okay. The Alana method. Drag it up, flip. Drag it up, flip. The most efficient, in my opinion, way to do this.
Okay, now make pairs of zero.
Okay.
We
There.
have 2x.
Here. Here.
2x to the end still of 5 minutes. 2x to the end. 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 2x to
Which is bigger?
2x.
Just 2x. Questions? I still have time. I don't know what. Mrs. Goldring is off her rocker today. She's just releasing classes early.
No, but the clocks are different. I like
There are 2 clocks.
No, because those clocks are behind.
Yeah, Colin and Sal heard the same thing. Like, you're crazy. So, that's it. Those are our 2 lessons. So, the reason I keep saying, hey, we have a few minutes left, if you want to spend the next, 4 minutes on working on your homework, you may. What's up?
I'm just saying, the class thing, that,
Class?
double, social.
Oh, well,
They do that.
I know. I said that at the beginning. I said the Linworth way to do this. But I want to do that here. We teach 5 different math classes. So the problem is that's an odd number. So, the weird thing is, would we then combine the Math 7 classes into one class on those and just have 40 some people in a class? And Mr. Smith and I, our team teaching it for an hour and a half or something like that. Would we combine the Math 8s, like those 8th grade? Would we combine the 7th grade Math 8 with the 8th grade? There's a lot of weirdness in our schedule that makes it really hard.
That's what
I want to do that.
That's what I think.
I love
Yeah.
I'm
They
a
do theirs
senior.
colors. Is it a blue
Yeah,
day?
I know senior. Yeah, I know senior. To remind me, so I've got the left side and the right side and one side and the other side. So whatever day it is, he flips it that other side.
What are you
Please
doing?
put the tiles back. Even if you didn't use them, please put them back in the box up here. Please put them back.
I'm keeping it forever now. I restrained
minus three.
Oh, you beat me to it.
2 halves makes a whole.
No, 2 times 1 half is 1.
2 halves makes a whole.
Stop